Okay, so we're moving along. We did the G string shape is when you play a G on the open chord zone down here, the first 4 or 5 frets here. All right. Um, when you play a G, the bottom and the top string become the sixth, seventh, and root of that key of G, because E becomes the sixth, because E is the sixth of G. With the E now, it gets a little weird, because the E becomes the root. E string is the root string, right? E becomes the root now. We can't get to the seventh there because it's lower than the guitar's register. Okay, so the E string shape up here, we can look at it an octave up, is 7 root 2. Okay, blank. That's the E shape, E string shape. And the D string shape, if you play a D up here, the D string, the E becomes the second, so it's 2, 3, 4 in the key of D. That's where the string shapes come from. But the best thing to remember, my friends, is to just remember what these are. The C string shape is the third, the fourth, the fifth of whatever key it is. So if it's in the key of, if I move this capo up to the G, okay, so if I play an E shape there, it's going to be a G. Okay. Now, in the key of G, all right, so the same string shapes work, right? So if we play an E shaped G, the E shaped string shape becomes the 7. Can do it without the capo now. 7 root 2. It starts on an E there. Now, why is it different? Because we're going to get the diatonic E scale when we do the string shapes properly. Now, in this way, we have to might want to look at a pattern to help us build that G. Okay, so if we're starting here on root, okay, this is going to be root here on E shape now, but we're in the key of G here. So it's going to be 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root. There's your F sharp right there. Even though these are like all ivory labels here, right? They're like, hey, this was the key of C. I thought it was the key of C, but I told you every other time could be any key. So there's your F sharp. That's an accidental. You know, it doesn't have to be colored piano colors, or we'd just be playing piano on guitar, right? It can be done. So it's E shape, C shape, G shape, D shape, warp up 5, 6. Alright, there it is. So starting from that root here, now root's going to be the third string. Root, we go there. I almost got it. I didn't take the pattern over. Now, talking about taking the pattern over, this is the main subject, the main attraction of today's chart is this new pattern that's going to help us know to take the pattern over at that point. And I just didn't do it myself, and it was, you know, and it was in the P4 tuning section of the strings, so there was no excuse for me to not do that, except I don't usually play in the key of G. So we made a new 7L pattern. Now there's two 7, there's you know, 7L is a general shape that you can assign to something, you know. I mean, you can make it bird shaped, you can make it whatever, you know, it's just a general shape. For instance, this is also a 7L, which gives us the long pattern. And where is that 7L here? The 7 part is something like this and this. It looks almost like a tank or something in a game. All right, and let's just change colors there for a second. And the L part would be, certainly we have the S2L down here, and then this would be the S3S up here. Okay. So that's kind of what that is. By the way, I didn't draw a good enough I guess trunk on that 7. So there it is. It's kind of, you know, so if we were to just go with the black screen. Okay, so with the black screen here, we pretty much got our 7 here, and we got our L here. Okay, so that's what it's a crazy shaped 7 and an L, but the new pattern has a really easy to see 7 and an L. So here, looking at our new pattern, we can draw the 7 and the L pretty easily. Okay, here's our 7 like that, and here's the L. We don't even have to change colors because there's no mix-up now. It's a lot easier. Okay, and there it is. So this is the S5L. It's 5 strings long, and this is the shape of the pattern. There's your 7 and there's your L, and that's about as 7 and L as it's gonna get. Alright, so this is the new pattern here. Now I'm going to take the highlighting off and we're going to look at it a little closer. The reason why I made this pattern this way, I never could have known when I made these guys over here, the S3L and, you know, the S2L, you know, this was okay, and they're still in this pattern. Here's an S3L in this pattern, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2. There's an S2L in this pattern, 6, 7 root on the bottom, and then 3, 4, 5 on the top. Okay, well, when we go and stack 2 of these things, now we're doing a pattern stack. So it's 2 of the same pattern that are just stacked one on top of one another. And the reason we do that is so that we can transition from the pattern again, just repeat the pattern. If we happen to be starting in the middle of this one and we want to go up to here, so we put the pattern on top of itself like that, you know, so that we can transition from one pattern to the other. What makes this pattern great is what's called string shape fitting. String shape fitting is, where is the pattern going to go? So half the battle is knowing which string shape you're going to play, or which cage shape or anything, but pretty much what string shape or scale fragment that you're going to play there. You know, it could be like a there's also chord shape fitting, you know, where you have to figure out where that chord goes. It's over one fret or another fret. Okay, so in string shape fitting we have to figure out exactly where they go, and I thought this is the easiest way. If you can start on a G pattern here, down here, the G string shape, and just go G, D, A, E, C, and in the middle here we've got the 5, 6, so it's like a 5, 6 sandwich by 2 alias pairs. These are aliases, so it's 6, 7 root, 2, 3, 4, whole step, half step, and up here, half step, whole step, half step, whole step. This makes it easy. You can't go wrong. The 5, 6 is in the middle, one goes to the left, one goes to the right. Just remember, start on the G pattern. It's going to be a 6, 7 root pattern.